Gear up, Scooter fam. Today, I thought we would talk about a subject that has come up a lot during my scooter journey since I've been into electric scooters for the past few months or so. And the question is, how much scooter is too much scooter? I had no idea how vast the scooter market was as far as minimum and maximum, abilities and so forth. Especially, some of them just are quite outrageous. Before getting into electric scooters, I was curious about e-bikes for several years now, and one of the things that even with e-bikes that I learned in my research, I was going to build my own. I was in the process of gathering all the things, and then we had I ended up moving, and COVID kind of got in the way of me doing my normal everyday stuff. So I moved on from that project, and but I lived in Colorado at the time, and there's hills everywhere. And I thought, and so when I'm doing my research, I found that dual motor e-bikes are way better at climbing hills. So it was not a surprise to me when I learned that the same was true with scooters. Right? It makes sense. So I wasn't interested in a single motor e-bike. And I really haven't been all that interested in a single motor scooter for that reason. Hills are a part of life, ups and downs. So, I don't want to wait. I don't want to go 4 miles an hour up a hill. Having a grandma on her walker pass me on the way up, that's not what I'm riding a scooter for. Or possibly having to walk it up, if I didn't have enough juice. So, what I wanted to talk about today a little bit is how we determine what level of scooter that we're at that we can buy, right? So, I see lots of posts, lots of influencer videos talking about which scooter is right for who and who should get what and who shouldn't get it, so forth. And unless we're talking about children, less the question is like, how much scooter is too much for my kid, my 12-year-old, or my grandma. Even the grandma would probably have a little bit more sense. The biggest danger with a kid is just that they don't understand the responsibility of of a scooter that goes a certain speed. So I cringe a little bit when I see kids riding scooters that go 40 miles an hour. So I haven't even done that yet, but I'm not their parents. I don't even have kids, so I'm not judging. Um, but as an adult, I don't think anyone can tell you, which how much scooter is too much. There's you can go from scooters that go 10, 15 miles an hour max all the way up to I saw a WePad that went 100 miles an hour over 100 miles an hour. So, uh that's all fine and good if you really want a WePad that goes 100 miles an hour. It's your business. If you want to spend 15 to 20 grand on that scooter, it's an awesome scooter. Um, but you know, there's settings, right? I mean, you don't have to ride on the highest setting. You don't have to. You don't have to push the accelerator until you reach top speeds. Um, a few years ago, I bought a 2021 um, Scat Pack Wide Body Challenger Shaker Edition, brand new, and I'll try to find a video and post it somewhere over here uh, for the skeptics. But I had it for a couple years and I sold it back in 2023. But if you think I ever got close to that car's top speed, you'd be mistaken. You'd be confused. So I never even desired to go as fast as that Scat Pack would go. I only went. I barely went beyond the speed limit. 90% of the time. So, uh, I'm hesitant to. I didn't buy it to go drag racing. I thought it was a cool car. I knew it would hold its value, and I kind of wanted to, drive it around for a little while. I just wanted to see what it was like to drive around. No interest in testing the limits of the in testing the limits of the car. So, and it was a great car. I loved it. Fun. It just was loud. I had everything done to it. Once again, I'll put that. You'll see that video. But it was awesome. But the point is, was that too much car for me? Some might argue it was because I wasn't going to use it to its full potential anyway. Is it too much car for a 15-year-old with a driving permit? Maybe, but I'll leave that up to their parents to decide. So, I got the Hover One Journey Max. I'm riding here. It goes about 20 miles an hour max. And once again, at first, I wasn't. 20 miles an hour seemed like a lot on this scooter, and so going incredibly fast on a scooter. I'm still new to it. So that's kind of why I brought this up, because I've been looking at getting another scooter. I have made a decision. I'll reveal that decision early next week. The video will probably come out Tuesday. I'll record it Monday, but it probably won't get uploaded until overnight on Monday. So you guys probably won't be able to see it till Tuesday. In any case, looking around, there's scooters that I'm not interested whatsoever in a WePad 20,000 scooter, but I've looked all the way up. I've seriously considered scooters up to $4,000. I don't think I need a scooter that does what those scooters do, but that doesn't mean it's too much scooter for me, and it doesn't mean that I can't go buy that scooter, even if I've never ridden a scooter before. I don't see. I mean, I bought this scooter because the Hover One Journey Max because I I didn't want to. I didn't want to put a bunch of money into the scooter. I wanted it to do what I wanted to do. It had dual motors, um, and I watched some videos, reviews, and so I felt pretty good about the purchase. Still do. So it was it wasn't my lack of thinking that I was ready to ride a scooter that went a certain speed. The InMotion RS goes over 60 miles an hour, but it has an eco mode, and I don't have to take it out of eco mode till I'm comfortable to. So as I said before on the Journey Max, I went and tested it. I didn't take it out of eco mode when I first got it. I rode it over to a parking lot, and I rode it in that parking lot, empty parking lot, until I was comfortable in eco mode, and that didn't take very long, obviously. But I wanted to see, I wanted to crank it up a little bit at a time. So then I jumped into drive mode, and that was pretty good. I did that for a while until I was fairly comfortable with drive mode, and then I cranked it up to sport mode, and got a feel for what that was like. I still wasn't comfortable driving outside of that um, parking lot for a few days on anything other than drive mode, just because it seemed a bit fast, and I hadn't gotten used to the acceleration and the throttle, so I was constantly throwing myself back, and I just didn't feel good. Plus, the way the scooter is designed and the way it kind of sits forward, and I'm trying to learn how to counteract those forces and whatnot. It's a little unnerving going over bumps, even at 12, 15 miles an hour when you're inexperienced, because you don't know what's gonna send you flying. Uh, Early on, the suspension thing really bothered me. Uh, I was really frustrated with how the suspension felt in my hands when I was riding, as far as like when I hit a bump, like a serious crack or something in the concrete. I thought I was going to get knocked off the scooter. I thought my hands were going to come completely loose, and I assume that can happen. But over time, I got having a little fun here on the scooter, but over time that got really old. Um, Sorry. I mean, sorry. Over time, that got easier to deal with, and I didn't realize it, but like I said, I was riding along. I have a couple times now, and hit a bump, and just curious, I looked down to to see how fast I was going, and I'm going almost full speed. It didn't bother me that much. I didn't feel like I was gonna come off the scooter or my hands are gonna get shaken loose. I also like riding with full fingered gloves. I've always ridden with a helmet and gloves, so a full face helmet, goggles, and it's a full face mountain bike style helmet, goggles, and gloves. And I bought some knee, elbow pads, and wrist pads to wear, but it's really hot, and I was really uncomfortable riding to the point where it was taking my energy from me. It just wore me down. So I wasn't going to be able to continue riding like that. So I do the minimum when it's super hot, when it's starting to cool off now, and I'll be getting a faster scooter here pretty soon. So I'll definitely be putting on the knee pads and elbow pads. Wrist pads, we'll see. I'm sure it'll help, but it's a lot. But like I said, I'll see how it goes. I'm definitely going to give it a shot. So, and that's another thing. It's like, how much scooter is too much. I mean, it depends on how willing you are to gear up. And if you're an adult, I don't care if you wear anything. I mean, I recommend it, but it's not my job to tell you what you can do or what you should do, which is also kind of interesting. Like I said before, on these social media groups, God, these guys are just everyone that comes in there, that has an accident or whatever, they oh, you weren't wearing your gear. You should be wearing your gear. This would never happen. And you can wear all the gear in the world and you can still get hurt. Um, Simple and plain. Obviously, you'll be much more protected with gear, with the proper gear, but you're not. There's no gear that will completely protect you from injury on a scooter. So, uh, common sense is probably your best piece of gear. you know, your best piece of gear there is probably the old uh, the old noggin. But aside from that, I think it comes down to responsibility, what you do, what you want to do, what you feel comfortable with. As I said, if you're if someone's asking a recommendation for a scooter or something like that, it's just a matter of what you're looking for. Um, if you really are interested in working your way up, and that's what your goal is, to work your way up to a 70 plus mile an hour scooter, even a 100 mile an hour scooter, if that's your goal, buy the scooter that'll get you there. Just take your time. You know, Start in eco mode. Most of these scooters, for sure, are safe to ride in eco mode for just about any adult. You know, so with good common sense. Uh, and so I mean, you can learn. You can learn. You can stay there as long as you want. No. There's no timetable on how long it takes you to progress. When I get my scooter, there's not going to be any timetable on how long I take to get up to top speeds. If I do, I'm not. I don't have a definite time frame. There are situations where I feel like I want to be able to go that fast if I'm in a situation where I need to. I'm not looking for those situations. I'm not going to start riding in traffic that's 45 miles an hour just because I get a scooter that can accomplish that. Um, I'm never going to jump on the highway with other cars going 60 plus miles an hour. Just me personally. So, do I need a scooter that goes 60 miles an hour? No, not necessarily. Will I ever buy one that'll go that fast? Maybe. Um, but it'll be my decision. I don't necessarily know if I want a scooter that goes that fast. I don't know if I need one ever. Uh, I don't really care about the lack of portability. That's not the biggest concern to me. It's a slight concern, as it would be with anyone. But the bigger concern to me is the stability and those types of things, as opposed to how fast I can go top speed. So I mentioned that before. I'm taking more than one thing into consideration, and speed is part of it. But as I said, too much scooter is really up to you. It's really up to you. No one else can tell you how much scooter is too much for you. I don't think any scooter is too much, for an adult. Um, and so, don't. If someone says you should never buy this scooter, you should have more experience before you buy this scooter, so forth. I don't. I just don't agree. Um, you can learn on any scooter. I didn't buy the Hover One Journey Max because it only went 20 miles an hour, and I was afraid that I would be irresponsible and get hurt because it had the ability to go over 20 miles an hour, just as my Scat Pack had the ability to go like 170 plus. Never, not me. Maybe some guy, maybe some people, but I'm not. I was never interested in going 170. I think I seen a video going like 175 or more, something like that. It wasn't in this country; it's in a different country. But the Autobahn maybe or something. But in any case, yeah, I was never ever gonna go 175 miles an hour in that car, and never even pretended to come close to even wanting to. So, that's okay. That's really dangerous, and I know how dangerous that is. I'm an adult. I understand the responsibility that comes with a car like that, and that's all it really takes. Nobody made me, drive over 20 miles an hour in the Scat Pack. So, yeah. you know, um, I think it's funny that so many people are willing to chime in and say you don't need this scooter. Um, one person was like, you don't need it because if you don't know how to work on scooters, you better not get this scooter. Whatever, you know. Everybody can learn how to work on scooters. If you love scooters, you're not. It's not going to be a chore to deal with them. I mean, of course, there's going to be pains and stuff like that, but if you really, really enjoy the scooter, it's going to be worth your time learning about the scooter and enjoyable at the same time. There'll be your ups and once again there'll be ups and downs as there is in life as I've said, and you'll get through them. I don't want to stay on here all day, but I just wanted to make a quick video and kind of talk about how much scooter is too much scooter, and why people should really kind of pipe down, keep to themselves, and let adults decide what's best for them. It's one thing if someone is asking, what scooter does what, and kind of there are people that want to know, things about scooters, but telling someone you shouldn't get a scooter that goes X amount of miles per hour. All right, guys, I'm not going to hang out here too much more. I'm going to call it a day. If you enjoyed this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and happy riding.